Good morning, students. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, what was the last topic we studied? Anyone remember? Engineering economics. What was the last topic? Anyone? 35 students are there. Have you remembered the. Okay, let me share my screen, then you will. I forgot, I thought in section A or where. Let me show you my screen, then you will know. Yes. The screen is visible? The screen is visible? Please respond.
Yes, ma'am.
Or you can type in the chat box also.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, have you remembered that we have studied this introduction? What is economics? What is flow in economy? Then we discussed this chart, law of supply and demand. Then factors, concept of engineering economics, types of efficiency, technical efficiency, then economic efficiency. Then definition and scope of engineering economics. Then elements of cost. Anyone remember? Hmm? Marginal cost, marginal revenue, sunk cost, opportunity cost. If you don't respond, then I'll start with my topic. What should I do? 34 students are there, no one is responding. If you want me
We'll
to,
start with any topic, ma'am.
you start with?
This other cost revenues.
Okay. Marginal cost, marginal revenue, sunk cost, and opportunity cost, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm starting, as Nanu said, so I'm starting with this. Okay. So these are the following. These following are the costs or revenues other than costs which are presented in the previous section. That means these are the cost of prime costs, factory overhead, factory costs. These are the some cost. Other than that, these are some cost: marginal cost, marginal revenue, sunk cost, and opportunity cost. Now, what are these? So first, marginal cost. So marginal cost of a product is the cost of producing an additional unit of that product. Just understand, okay? It is the cost of producing an additional unit of that product. Suppose you are producing a maggie, okay, you are producing a maggie packet. So the marginal cost will be it will be the cost of producing an additional unit. Suppose you are producing 50 unit, so then suppose 51 unit, the cost of that product will be your marginal cost, okay? Let the cost of producing, yeah, they have explained here beautiful, very well. Let the cost of producing 20 units of a product be rupees 10,000. Okay, you are producing a 20 units of some item, and the cost of that is 10,000. And the cost of producing 21 units of the same product will be 10,045. Then the marginal cost of the product producing the 21st unit is 45. Clear? Understood or not? The Thus 45 is your marginal cost. Why? Because you are producing an extra unit of the same product, and the cost of that extra, this 20 unit, for this 20 unit, the let me note. Okay. So for producing 20 units of product, the cost was rupees 10,000. Okay. And you are producing an extra unit of, suppose cost of 20 was 10,000. Okay. Now you are producing 21. Now it is costing you 10,045. This 21 is the extra unit. Okay, suppose this is the next, you have been asked to produce 20 units, but you have by default or by some any could be the reason that machine has produced one more extra unit. So suppose 21 is the extra unit of the same product, and now the costing of cost of production is 10,045. So this is the extra money, extra cost, sorry. So this will be your marginal cost. Hope understood. Okay, then marginal revenue. So the marginal revenue of a product is the incremental revenue of selling an additional unit of the product. Okay, so this, when you sell this extra unit, when you sell this extra unit, the selling price is the revenue you are getting. Revenue means the profit you are getting from that selling that additional unit will be your marginal revenue. So they have explained, see, let the revenue of selling 20 units of a product is 15,000. Okay, when you're selling 20 units of a product, you are getting 15,000, and the revenue of selling 21 units of the same product be 15.085. So your revenue amount was 85. Then the marginal revenue of selling the 21st unit is rupees 85. Understood? What is marginal? See, these two are related. Marginal cost is producing an extra unit. The amount it is taking you producing that unit will be your marginal cost, and marginal revenue is the selling price you are selling that unit at what amount, that will be your marginal revenue. Any doubts? You just type in the chat box. Okay, I'll continue. Now, sunk cost. This is known as the past cost of an equipment and assessed. Okay, past. What was the past cost of that? Let us assume that an equipment has been purchased for rupees 1 lakh about 3 years back. Now today onwards, 3 years back you have purchased an equipment and that cost you 1 lakh rupees. If it is considered for replacement, then its present value is not 1 lakh. That is obvious, right? When you purchase a phone, it's suppose you purchase a phone at rupees 15,000 on 2020, right? But it won't be the same cost. Suppose you are purchasing a phone in 2000 today in 2021. After in 2023 you won't get the same money, right? Instead its present market value should be taken as the present value for the equipment for further analysis. So for analysis, present market value, you have to take the present market value. What will be the present value of that equipment for analysis? So the purchase value of the equipment in the past is known as its sunk cost. Okay, the sunk cost should not be considered for any analysis done from now onwards. So when you do the analysis, what is in economics, basically we do the analysis of the cost production, right? It's all about money. So you all do the analysis you do all the analysis regarding the money by with different words: sunk cost, then marginal revenue, marginal cost. So when you do the analysis, these words will be used. So for any analysis you cannot use this 1 lakh rupees, which was the cost 3 years back. Okay, you have to take the present value of that equipment for any analysis. Suppose you want to do what will be the suppose you do want to do valuation of that equipment or valuation of that project property, right? You have to take the present value, you cannot take the past value. This past value is called as sunk cost. Okay, now opportunity cost. In practice, if an alternative is selected for in practice in one's day-to-day life, if an alternative X is selected from a set of competing alternatives XY, then the corresponding investment in the selected alternative is not available for any other purpose. If the same money is invested in some other alternative, it may fetch some return. Since the money is invested in the selective alternative, one has to follow. Okay, so there is one video very beautifully they have understood. They have explained the opportunity cost. Let me play for you. Okay. My screen is visible. Opportunity cost screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
The value is reduced. The past is considered for analysis. Okay, so let us discuss the opportunity cost. Okay, so let us take an example. So let us discuss the opportunity cost. So let us say that the person has an amount of 50,000 which is to be invested in a product X, and after 3 years the product X, let us say the product can be a property or something. So this is an investment opportunity X. So this will yield rupees 60,000 after 1 year. So that means the total profit for this investment is rupees 10,000 for a period of 1 year. And in the case of second case, let us say the same person is investing rupees 50,000 in investment opportunity Y, and that investment opportunity will yield an profit of, let us say, 65,000 for 1 year. So in this case, the profit for the person becomes 15,000, and the difference of 15,000 with 10,000 is the opportunity cost. So the person lost 5,000 rupees as an opportunity if he had invested in opportunity Y rather than investing in opportunity X. So the cost involved for this particular opportunity lost is 5,000. So this cost is known as the opportunity cost, that is 5,000 rupees in this case. Okay, so in this video, in the next video,
Have you understood this part, opportunity cost, or should I play once more? Have you understood?
Play again, ma'am.
Okay, okay.
the opportunity cost. Okay, so let us take an example. So let us discuss the opportunity cost. So let us say that the person has an amount of 50,000 which is to be invested in a product X, and after 3 years the product X, let us say the product can be a property or something. So this is an investment opportunity X. So this will yield rupees 60,000 after 1 year. So that means the total profit for this investment is rupees 10,000 for a period of 1 year. And in the case of second case, let us say the same person is investing rupees 50,000 in investment opportunity Y, and that investment opportunity will yield an profit of, let us say, 65,000 for 1 year. So in this case, the profit for the person becomes 15,000, and the difference of 15,000 with 10,000 is the opportunity cost. So the person lost 5,000 rupees as an opportunity if he had invested in opportunity Y rather than investing in opportunity X. So the cost involved for this particular opportunity lost is 5,000. So this cost is known as the opportunity cost, that is 5,000 rupees in this case. Okay, so in this video, in the next video, I'm going to talk about the break-even analysis. Okay friends, so that's it for this particular video, and also in the next one.
So, see, understood or not? So, it is saying that suppose you have two components X and Y. When you invest money on X, suppose the 1 year before the cost was 50,000, and after 1 year you are getting a profit of 10,000. That is, it is becoming 60,000. In 1 year you are getting a profit of 10,000. The next is another, this is one X, this is one alternative, and another alternative you have Y. If you invest 50,000 here, then you will get 65,000 in 1 year, and you are get that means you are getting a profit of 15,000. Now difference between two, the cost you are getting, that is your opportunity cost. That means the difference, suppose if you have invested, you have two alternatives, you are getting different profit from that, and the difference will be your opportunity cost. So clear this part, or should I explain once again? See, if you won't interact, how will I understand you are able to understand the subject or not? Okay, okay, then fine if it is clear. So next we'll move to break-even analysis. Okay, most of you have wrote very nicely. So let's understand what is break-even analysis, right? I hope you are familiar with this word. So let's understand first break-even analysis. My screen is visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
How to calculate the break-even point for your business. This break-even analysis video explains the break-even point in words, in graphs, and in formulas, and encourages you to take various actions in your business to improve profitability. A common definition of the break-even point is the sales volume where neither profit nor loss is made. An alternative way of saying the same thing, the break-even point is a sales volume where contribution margin dollars equals fixed cost dollars. Let's look at the break-even point on the graph. On the horizontal axis, the number of units sold. On the vertical axis, the total dollars. Contribution margin dollars go up for every unit sold. Contribution margin is revenue minus variable cost. What you sell the product for minus what it costs you to make an incremental unit. Fixed costs don't vary with the number of units sold. Typical examples of fixed cost are rent, depreciation, and research and development expenditures. The break-even point is right here, where the two lines intersect. Let's put some numbers to the example. If fixed costs are $200,000 and contribution margin is $4 per unit, then the business needs to sell 50,000 units to break even. If the business sells fewer than 50,000 units, the red area, then contribution margin is lower than fixed costs and the business is loss-making. If the business sells more than 50,000 units,
Likha Thakur is speaking something. Likha, your voice is not clear, so type in the chat box. Likha, your voice is not clear. Type in the chat box.
the green area, then contribution margin is higher than fixed costs and the business makes a profit. Let's do the exact same break-even analysis but in formulas. The break-even point is the sales volume where contribution margin dollars equals fixed cost dollars. That's the same as saying that the volume sold times the contribution margin per unit equals the fixed cost dollars. And that's the same as saying that the volume sold to break even is equal to the fixed cost dollars divided by the contribution margin per unit. And that's the same as saying that the volume sold to break even is equal to the fixed cost dollars divided by the selling price per unit minus the variable cost per unit. Let's fill in the numbers to illustrate. $200,000 of fixed costs. The business needs $200,000 in contribution margin to cover that $200,000 in fixed costs. At $4 contribution margin per unit, $10 selling price per unit minus $6 variable cost per unit, the volume sold needs to be 50,000 units. That's all very interesting, but what should a business owner do with this information? The first thing that comes to mind is to try to sell as many units as possible. Increase the volume sold. But that's not the only choice the business owner has. He or she can also work on reducing the fixed costs, increasing the price per unit, or reducing the variable cost per unit. Work on all these variables at the same time, and the break-even point becomes dynamic instead of static. Want to learn more about business, finance, accounting, and
So you can analyze this break even with the help of words, graphs or formulas, or by actions. Okay, so first you should know what is the break even point. Let me share one more video, then you'll understand more. Hope my screen is visible, right?
Discuss the break-even analysis in detail. Okay, the major objective of the break-even analysis is to find out the cutoff production volume from where a firm will make a profit. That means we need to find out a point where the firm is making a no loss or a no profit situation. That is a break-even situation. So let us take the variables and define the variables. So the first variable is S. So S is defined as the selling price of the product. V is the variable cost for the product. FC is the fixed cost for the particular period, and Q is the volume of production. So we need to find the total revenue for the firm for the particular product. So let us take the total sales revenue is S. So S is equal to small s multiplied by Q. So capital S is equal to small s multiplied by Q, and capital S is the total sales revenue. Small s is the sales per unit product, that is the selling price of the product, and Q is the volume of production. The total cost of the firm for a given production volume is given as total cost, which is equal to total variable cost plus the fixed cost. So total cost becomes the total variable cost and the fixed cost, and the variable cost defined as V into Q plus the fixed cost. So V is the variable cost per unit, and Q is the total volume of production, and FC is the total fixed cost for the production for a particular time period. Okay, so let us discuss the break-even chart in detail. So this is the break-even chart. The y-axis is the break-even sales, and the x-axis is the production quantity. So this is the independent parameter, and this is the dependent parameter, and this dependent parameter is dependent on the independent parameter. That means always when you draw a graph, the quantity at the x-axis is the independent parameter, and the quantity at the y-axis is the dependent parameter. So in this case, production quantity becomes the independent parameter, and the sales is dependent on the independent parameter. That means the break-even sales is dependent on the production quantity. Okay, so in the case of fixed cost, it is a straight line because the fixed cost is independent with respect to production quantity. And next is the variable cost. So variable cost will increase as the quantity will increase. So this is directly proportional with respect to the production quantity and the break-even sales. So total cost. So let us define the total cost. So total cost is summation of the variable cost and the fixed cost. So this line, so this is the line of total cost, and this line is parallel with respect to this line because the fixed cost line is horizontal and it is constant. Now this region is known as a loss region, and this is known as the profit region, and this is the break-even point. So this point is known as the break-even point, and at this point there is no loss and no profit for the company, and this region is known as the loss region, and this is the profit region. So as the quantity of production will increase the break-even quantity, that means the company will make profit, and if the production quantity is less than the break-even quantity, then the company will make a loss. So this is the basic chart of break-even. Okay, so let us discuss the basic formulas which are used for the break-even analysis. So the first one is calculation of profit. So profit is sales minus the fixed cost plus the variable cost. So this is the selling price of the product. This is the cost price of the product. So this difference of the selling price and the cost price of the product becomes the profit for the product. Now the sales is equal to S into Q, and the total cost is the fixed cost plus the variable cost into quantity of production. So V into Q becomes the variable cost, and this formula becomes the formula for the profit. Next is the break-even quantity. So break-even quantity, that is the BEQ, is defined as the ratio of fixed cost upon selling price per unit minus the variable cost. So this is very important formula to find out the break-even quantity. So that is FC upon S minus V in terms of units. Next is the break-even sales. So this is just a multiplication of break-even quantity multiplying by with the selling price per unit. So FC upon S minus V. So this is break-even quantity and multiplied with S. So that is selling price of the per unit. So this multiplication will result into break-even sales. And the unit of break-even sales is in rupees. Now let us talk about contribution and contribution per unit. So contribution is sales minus variable cost. So this is also one good parameter to find out the break-even quantity. And contribution per unit, so that means contribution upon unit. So contribution is sales minus variable cost. So contribution per unit is equal to sales minus variable cost upon unit. So which can be selling price per unit minus variable cost per unit. And this is margin of safety. MS means margin of safety, which is equal to actual sales minus the break-even sales. So actual sales minus break-even sales gives the margin of safety. So this break-even sales, this parameter is always fixed. So this parameter is always fixed, and we need to increase the actual sales to increase the margin of safety. So when actual sale increases, the margin of safety increases. So MS is proportional to the actual sales. It can also be calculated as profit upon contribution into sales. So margin of safety as per percent of sales is equal to margin of safety upon sales into 100%. So this is the formula to find out the margin of safety in terms of percentage. So these formula will be more and more clear when we solve more and more examples.
So understood. So basically, if you see, so break-even analysis means it's the analysis in a business where you can find a point where are your productions, or where at what point we are making profits, at what point you are making loss. Okay, this is the basically that analysis where you can put the values in a chart, and you can analyze that whether you are making a profit in the business or loss in the business, or and what you can do where you can increase your sales. Basically you have to increase your sales to get the maximum profit. So it is saying that the main objective of break even analysis is to find the cutoff production volume from where a firm will make profit. Understood? At what point, at what is the you can say if you are making loss, you can do the analysis and you can see at what point you can change in some costs or production where you can make a profit. So they have denoted as selling price per unit, variable cost per unit, fixed cost per period, volume of production. So the total sales revenue of the firm is given by the formula this. So this S is your sale revenue. That means what you are selling. Selling the money you are getting. Revenue is basically the money you are getting back by selling those items. So this is equals to S into Q. S means selling price per unit. Q is volume of production. That means volume of, suppose you have 40 product. So and this is the selling price of one product. So 40 into S will give you the whole selling price. Got it or not? Understood or not? So this S is S into Q. That means 40 products. Each product is costing 100 rupees. So S 100 into 40 will give you how much? 4,000, right? Am I correct? 40 into 100, 4,000. So the the S sales revenue is your 4,000. Now the total cost of the firm for a given production volume is given as. Now the total cost. What was the total cost? This will be total variable cost plus fixed cost. Now how to find out the variable cost? It's V into Q. V is variable cost per unit. What is the variable cost of that unit into how much is the production plus there will be some fixed cost. Okay, when you produce a product, so there will be some fixed cost, that it will cost you 30 rupees for, suppose you can say material cost. Material cost is your fixed, that this material will cost this much only, 40 rupees. No, leave it the material cost. Suppose when you're producing a product, suppose you're producing a you're making a copy, suppose. So this each copy is costing you 40 rupees, plus this variable cost will include some transportation, some packaging and all. Okay, so there will always be a fixed cost of that product plus variable cost. So variable cost means variable cost per unit, how much per unit, how much it is taking, and into number of production. So this will give you total cost. The linear plots of the above two equations are, so these two above equations, this total cost and this sales revenue is shown in here in the plot. The intersection point of the total sales revenue line and the total cost line is called the break-even point. So this is your sales, okay, sales revenue, the capital S. When you they have equate the equation, since this is a linear equation, so it will be a straight. This is also linear equations, it will be a straight line. So when they have plot this two, sales and total cost, they got a point. So this is your break even point. So this point will, at this point there will be no loss and no profit. After this, above this portion will be a profit part, this will be a loss part. Okay. Here in y direction they used to plot the sales, and here the product quantity, how much quantity you are producing. So this will be always a fixed cost, and this is the variable cost. Fixed cost will be same always. So this is the general introduction. Now for any production quantity, wait. So for any production quantity which is more than the break-even quantity, the total revenue will be more than the total cost. Okay, for any product which is more than break-even quantity, suppose break-even quantity is okay. So for any production quantity which is more than break-even quantity, the total revenue will be more than the total cost. So this is the profit you can make when the sales, how to the general formula to for finding profit is sales minus selling price minus cost price, right? So sales, which is S into Q, capital Q, and your cost will be cost price will be fixed cost plus variable cost you have got earlier, right? So when you minus sales minus selling price minus cost price, you will get the profit. Now the formula to find the break even quantity and break even sales quantity, these are the formulas. What is the break even quantity? Means at what how much quantity you should produce so for making profit. Okay, at what point you can make how much quantity you should produce for making profit, and how much should be the sales when you can make a profit. So these are called break even quantity and break even sales. So this is the formula: fixed cost minus selling price per unit minus variable cost per unit. Then break even sales is fixed cost minus selling price per unit minus variable cost into selling price. So this contribution is the difference between the sales and the variable cost, the margin of safety. Okay, so you can find break-even quantity and break-even sales by this formula. Then you can also find marginal safety. What will be the safety? At this is the contribution is the difference between the sales and the variable cost. The margin of safety is the sales over and above the break-even sales. So the above part of the chart, where you will be safety, at what sales you will be safe for making profit, that will be your marginal safety. So contribution will be sales minus variable cost, contribution per unit will be selling price per unit, variable cost per unit, and ms is actual sale, how much actual sales you are doing minus what is the break even sales, the point at which you can getting profit and the actual sales you are making. It will give you marginal safety. So in the next class we will discuss some numericals, then it will be more clear to you. Okay. So I'll text in the group, then join for the next class. Okay. Thank you.